Subscribe to Teckoh on YouTube or you will forever be a bot at Fortnite.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So in this video, I'll be teaching you guys how to get 0 ping in Fortnite. Yes, 0. Now, real quick, I want to clear something up about ping before we get started. Unfortunately, most of you guys won't be able to achieve 0 ping in Fortnite at all because ping is heavily determined by your distance from the Fortnite servers. Take me as an example. I live in Florida in the United States. The closest server to my location is all the way in Virginia, which is pretty much across the country from where I live. With that being the case, the lowest ping I can possibly get in my location is about 20 to 25. But even if you can't get literally 0 ping, in this video, I'll be showing you how to at least optimize everything you can optimize to get that number as low as possible. Some of you might get 0, some of you might get 20, some of you might get more. Basically, whatever your optimal ping is, hopefully this video can help you out in achieving the best ping you can get. Towards the end of the video, I'll also be giving some tips for those of you who just play on naturally high ping even after optimizing everything, because unfortunately for some of us that's just the situation. But with that said, let's get straight into it. So, I'm gonna start with the most basic of tips to improve your ping, which is internet plans and Ethernet. You've probably heard these before, so I'm not going to spend too much time on these topics, but I genuinely think they're really important, and honestly, they're about 80 to 90% of what impacts the ping you actually get. Pretty much everything else you can optimize and do, those are all just supplements to this. These are like kind of the foundations of having good ping. So first up is internet plans. I won't try to blow up your bank account with this video, but I do think that for a lot of you, especially those of you who play the game often, upgrading your current internet package could prove really beneficial. Especially if you have multiple people using your internet at the same time, like roommates, siblings, parents, or anyone else, having high internet speed is absolutely crucial, especially in such a fast-paced game like Fortnite. If you often get super high ping when other people are using the internet or see decreased performance when you're watching something or anything along those lines, upgrading your actual internet speed and internet package may help. Now, I don't mean to sit here and tell you to spend a bunch of money, but if you think it's worth the price, then this is something to consider. And if you don't yet have an Ethernet cable and you play on console or PC, you need to get one. An Ethernet cable is basically a cable that runs from your router to your PC or console, and it basically gives you a direct wired connection instead of making everything your internet sends and receives basically fly through the air back and forth where there may be disruptions or issues with the connection. It doesn't literally fly back and forth, but that's kind of the best way I can explain it. If you want to run wired instead of wireless, your internet will not only be faster overall, but it'll be much more consistent as well. You can easily find high quality Ethernet cables on Amazon for anywhere from say 10 to 25 US dollars. I'd recommend getting a cable that's category 6 or 7 as well for maximum speeds. Most cables should say the category in the title or description of the product, so you know exactly what you're getting. Next up, I'm going to be showing you 3 different methods that I personally use and that I see other people use to get lower ping in Fortnite. So these are going to be more of miscellaneous methods than anything huge or insane. One pretty easy tip is to close all of your other apps that are using up your internet. It's pretty simple to do. Just head into your task manager and take a look at all the running apps and see which ones are taking up network or just the ones that are taking out a lot of your PC in general, because all of those can severely hurt your ping. Just right click on whichever apps or whichever tasks you think might be taking away from your performance and click end task, or simply left click and click end task on the bottom right. Just be careful and try to avoid ending any of the Windows processors or anything that needs to run, because then you'll have to restart your PC and fix it if you made a mistake. Next up is another quick one, and it's to scan your computer for malware. This is helpful because a lot of viruses and malware that you might get are ones that can hurt your ping, either by taking up your computer's processing power, using your internet to power some sort of illegal software like DDoSing tools, among a ton of other things. Now, I recommend using Malwarebytes for this because it's completely free and it's pretty accurate. Simply go to malwarebytes.com, spelled malware B-Y-T-E-S, and you'll be able to quickly download the tool and do a virus scan. I won't sit here and do a full guide on it because it's honestly pretty simple to do, and there are a ton of other guides on it on the internet. But if you have any questions about it or if you have any issues, just drop it in the comments and I'll try to respond to as many as possible. Another thing that you can try out is using a third-party app or a third-party piece of software to lower your ping. Some companies like KillPing, NoPing, and WTFast claim to be able to lower your ping, and personally, I've tried a few and they generally seem to help. Most of these services basically rewire your connection in a way, or use something called a gaming private network to optimize your ping. So while I can't personally say with 100% confidence that all of these will work or won't work, if your ping is struggling and you're interested in possibly using another program to lower it, then these options might be worth considering. Also guys, I'd like to quickly mention that I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. I'm not affiliated with them really in any way. I have just personally seen that these companies have helped people with their ping. It seems to be pretty legitimate. It might work for some of you, it might not work for others. I just figured I would include these in the video just in case they help some of you out. But yeah, I just wanted to clear that up. But I'd like to say, for the most part, these are best for people who play on higher ping, probably like 40, 50, or above, since chances are they'll have more room for optimization. But with that said, let's go ahead and move on. So, contrary to what a lot of other creators believe with their super fancy programs and tricks to lower your ping, honestly, I think that everything I've gone over is really all you're going to need to minimize your ping in-game. Most other things that people claim reduces your ping are either total lies or just make such a minuscule difference where it's not even worth bothering. So, unfortunately, some of us are simply going to have poor ping due to our location, internet provider, or for some other reason. With that said, in this section of the video, I'll be giving you some tips and advice to improve even while playing on medium to high ping, because getting that beautiful zero ping simply isn't a possibility for some of us. The first tip for higher ping is to play at a bit of a slower pace in terms of your building and editing. It's a simple fact that you won't be able to crank up to height limit or take walls and do a millisecond mongrel classic on high ping. Instead, focus on spotting your opponent's mistakes. Pre-fire their edits, maintain pressure by spraying while you're not directly on their wall, and try not to allow them to take control and force a box fight. Contrary to what a lot of people think, you can actually beat really good players if you're on high ping by simply outsmarting them and waiting for them to mess up. The second tip for high ping players is to focus on your aim. This is mostly relevant for people who play on, say, 50 or higher ping, where you're not able to build and edit super fluidly and box fighting is pretty much a no-go against anybody good. For these people, being able to hit shots is the most crucial part of their gameplay. If you ever watch a super high ping player in game, say an EU player like Benji playing an NA Cash Cup for example, you'll notice how they love to jump into people's boxes and simply kill them that way. Now, I'm not telling you to simply 50-50 everyone you come across, but I will say that the surprise factor is a very real thing, even in Fortnite, and it can easily win you fights against people who are pretty good if you're able to hit your shots. If you play mouse and keyboard on PC, I would really recommend practicing in Kovac's FPS Aim Trainer. It's only $10 on the Steam store, and it'll absolutely change your game if you practice with it consistently. For console or mobile players, your best bet is to find an in-game aim trainer and practice in it before you play to get your shots on point. I honestly recommend practicing aim duels a ton as well, because those are some of the best ways you can practice your close range aim. This seems like a very basic tip, but if you actually do it, you'll be winning more fights in no time. Finally, the last tip in this video is one of the best ways to get better on high ping, and that's to practice your ping in creative. Believe it or not, if you play on another server in creative, chances are your ping will be close, or maybe just a bit higher in the creative than it is in real games. For example, in my situation, I play anywhere from about 25 to 40 to 50 ping in game, because Epic servers just don't like me at times. When I play creative on NA West, as opposed to usually playing on East, I get about 60 ping. And obviously 60 ping is just a bit above perfect ping for me to simulate a real game, considering the other factors like server lag, input delay, and lower FPS come into play during real matches. So, if you're looking to improve and practice your true ping, consider trying out another server in creative, because this can give you a better simulation of your actual ping than your own servers will. This should work for most of you, and it's honestly a pretty good way to practice on your real ping if, unfortunately, you can't get it any lower than it actually is. I'd like to also quickly mention that unfortunately for some of you this won't work just because of your location, but I'd say for 80 to 90% of you it should work, and you should be able to pick another closed server and get some high quality practice on your actual ping on that server. With that said, let's move on. And with that said everyone, that's going to wrap it up for this video. Hopefully this video helped you out with decreasing your ping, or if you play on high ping already, hopefully I gave you some good tips to still improve and perform well on that ping. If you guys found this video helpful, it would be great if you could leave a like on it, and also consider subscribing to the channel if you'd like to see more content just like this in the future. Also, if you want to go that extra mile to show your support and help me out, consider using code Teckoh in the Fortnite item shop. It seriously helps me way more than you think it does, and I appreciate every single one of you who uses it. And finally, last thing, if you watched until this point in the video, leave a comment that includes the words 0 ping, and I'm going to be randomly picking 1 or 2 people to basically gift something from the item shop for free, just to show some support. And with that said, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.